be here tonight. And I want to thank the committee for inviting me or selecting me or however the hell y'all did it. But I was real nervous about it. And I wanted to know, why me, when they called me. And I thought they wanted me to come out to California. I said, oh, sure, baby, I'll come out there, But they said, well, we want you to come to Florida and you'll be on a satellite hookup. I said, what the hell is that? He said, well, you'll be speaking all around the world in different languages. I said to myself, I'm not speaking different languages all around the world. I can't speak nothing but English. And when he was explaining to me, he scared me to death, really. So I said, well, I don't know. You have to call me tomorrow and let me think about this, And sure enough, he called me the next day. But by that time, I had gotten to some reinforcement, to let them know what was going on and about them calling me, And they told me, they said, well, Dorine, that is a privilege. They said, go on, I said, really? You think I can? He said, yeah, you can do it. Go ahead. So when he called me back and he told me, I told him, yeah, I'll do it. I would do it. Because after sitting down and thinking about how far I have come, and it's only through the grace and this fellowship here that the mother is where she is today. So anything that I can do for any of you kids, no matter when, where, or how, if the mother can get there, we'll be there. I love y'all. And it has not been easy. And I'm here to tell you, it wasn't easy. But I wouldn't give anything for what I had to go through with in order to get to where I am today. I always say that there's no growth without pain. And the only way out of it is you've got to go through it. There is no easy way around this thing. And I was the type of person that I didn't like to hurt. I wanted to run from pain and everything. I couldn't understand anything. I wanted to run. I wanted to get away. But when I come in here, I found out that you got to stand still and hurt in order to grow. There is no easy way out of this thing. So I come in here, and I jump right in the middle, not knowing what the hell I was doing. All I know is that I wanted a new way of life, but how was I going to get there? I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, but I didn't know how to get my life together. I knew how to make a living, but I didn't know how to live until I come in these rooms. I stopped using drugs back in June of '68. That's right, baby. The mother's pretty old. But what happened when I stopped using drugs in '68, I thought that was it. And it says, and now how it works, that alcohol is one of the oldest known drugs. And back there during that time, they were very clear about once an addict, always an addict. So I went from one extreme to the other extreme. And I didn't like it. I did not like alcohol. I didn't like the way it smelled. I didn't like the way it tastes. I didn't like the way it burned going down my throat. But what I was doing, I know today, was trying to drown and to medicate the feelings that I had. I was determined not to go back on drugs. And by alcohol being accepted by society, I thought it was all right. Like many addicts will do today. They'll go from one extreme to the other. But I'm here to tell you, baby, in this program, You got to cold turkey. You got to learn how to feel. A lot of people come in here and they be so happy for the first 30 or 60 days, ripping and running, and the girls looking cute, looking good, you know, you're putting on your little dresses and feeling good. The dudes all clean, hair slicked back, nice shirts and shit, you know. And I mean, there's somebody that's saying something to me. How good I look. And we begin to feel it. You know. And next thing you know, we're in love. Because I haven't had anybody to talk to me or act like this with me for years. And we forget all about everything else. But I'm here to tell you that there's some storms you're going to have to go through with. You're going to have to hold on, and you're going to have to rock. Until you rock right on through them storms. Because if you don't get through them storms now, you're going to keep coming back to this point, and keep coming back to this point, and keep coming back to this point until you cross that invisible line. But I thank God that I had people like you to be around me and tell me that Dorine is going to be all right. All you got to do is just keep on going in spite of. But I said, what do I do with these feelings? I've never dealt with feelings before. And right now, after being in this fellowship 25 years, I still can get crazy as hell. But the thing about it today, I know what to do about the things that used to baffle me and turn me out of here years ago. They said, Dorine, what do you do when you don't know what to do? I don't do nothing but stand still and just rock. Till I rock right on through it. And remember, nothing lasts forever. This too shall pass. Since I've been in here, I've lost my mother, my father, my husband, and my grandson. And the mother is still going on in spite of. I'm glad that I was clean when they all passed. I'm glad that I was a part of their life. And don't tell me what you can't do when you come in this program if you only believe and trust the process of this program. Here I come in here unskilled, uneducated, not knowing which way to go. Because you know them false images we have when we out there in the street. We can build them images. I couldn't hardly read. I couldn't hardly write. I can't spell. Couldn't spell too good. Somebody give me a piece of paper and say, here, Dorine, what's this say? I'd look at it and say, oh, shit, you take it and read that. If I want to read that shit, if you want to know what it is, read it. I didn't know how to say that I don't read too good. That was cutting into my image. I didn't know how to say, would you help me to read this? I didn't know how to ask for help. But how in the hell you expect to get help until you open up and let people know what you need? You know, you can't teach a know-it-all nothing. What you want to teach a know-it-all? You know every damn thing. So you can't teach them nothing. But it was only until I began to sort of strip myself and let y'all know that I need some help. And I find out that people are so eager and quick to help you, especially when they know. Because they want you to know that they know. And they will give it up willingly because they know. And I was there to to eat it all up. For me, I had to strip myself. I had to begin to take a look at things that I did not want to take a look at. I remember people coming up to me and telling me they remember me when. You ever had that? Somebody come to you and remember seeing you such place, and somehow or another your guts start falling over, and you get scared, and you try to back up, because you don't want nobody else to know it. But I found out one thing in this fellowship. When they come to remind me of where I used to be, I used to say, oh, thank God for having you here, honey, to help me to cleanse some of this shit out of me. I don't mean no harm. I was just saying, I know what you meant. Now, what about you? People are not so eager to talk about themselves. I was told when I was a little girl, speak the truth, and the truth shall set you free. I got to talking, and it was like I had diarrhea of the mouth. My husband, he said, man, don't say too much around her, because she tells everything. I was like one of them 1801 icebox, where you put the big cube ice in it and melt down and run out. I wouldn't hold nothing. Because I was scared. I was sick and tired of doing the things that I was doing. I was sick and tired of being out in that lifestyle. I wanted something in life, but I just didn't know how to get it. I had to be taught. And when I come into this fellowship, and y'all gave me the first step, palace over my addiction, and my life was unmanageable. All I had to do was stop for a few minutes, take inventory, and I could see how palace I was. I said, my. When I come into my first meeting, and I cannot lie to you, and I know how some of y'all feel, they did not have NA in D.C. at that time. I had to go to another 12-step program. And I thank God for that program, for holding me until I found that little white book of NA. And ever since then, I have been over in NA. I was in that other program for 2 years. And I began to start going to meetings. I began to start talking. I began to start asking for help. Not only people in the fellowship, but any goddamn body I feel like got something that I wanted. And to tell you what can happen for you if you only keep the faith and if you only believe and if you keep on going in spite of. Here I am with no education, no skills at all. But the mother wound up being a federal parole officer's assistant. I carried a badge in my pocketbook. So you can't tell me what can't happen for you if you only believe and if you follow the process of this program. I had to get a sponsor. I had to sit down and I had to tell somebody about myself. I had to begin to let people know who I was and where I was. And could you really help me? And I found out that people are so eager to help. Since I've been in this program, I had to leave my husband. And I left him. We were separated for 5 years. And I'm saying this tonight to anybody in case they're thinking about a loved one who's out there and doing what they got to do. See, I give this universe back to God a long time ago. God did not leave with me and say, Dorine, you are in charge of anything. My husband and I were separated for 5 years. And after 5 years, my husband come into this fellowship. I like to look at it as if to say, someone looked at me and say, I got to go get her. And she going to lead me. I like to look as if I was a pal example to him. He had to do what he had to do, and I had to do what I had to do. My husband come out. He had 13 years in this program, and he died from a massive heart attack. And I thank God for that time that we had together. We were married for over 20 years. In the last 5 years of that time is when I got to know my husband. Or when I got to find out what a wholesome relationship was. My husband and I, we had not even slept together for over 10 years. Why? It's something else. I have a respiratory system disease. I breathe real hard, and I snore like hell at night. And really, if you want some rest, you cannot stay in the room with me. Stripping myself now. See, a lot of people don't like to talk about things about themselves. But see, these are some of the things that kept me using. Like, when I was young, I used to always want to slow dance, get a slow record and have your man to hold you and just run with the music. But I couldn't. Because you swear to God, I was having an orgasm on the floor. The way I be huffing and puffing. So I'd rather lie and say, I don't like to slow dance. I always wanted to slow dance. I always wished I had the luxury of, how you see in the movies, and some of y'all don't experience it, to lay up in a man's arms at night and go to sleep. I never had that luxury. That's like I'd have been and blowed his ass out of bed. So until I could accept these things about myself, only then was I able to talk to and be for real and down to earth with people. And with my husband, when we did get back together, I said, baby, you got to go in that other bedroom. Because we can't sleep together. He said, I know, baby, you keep me up all night. I love you, but I swear, I can't handle it. I said, I understand. I truly understand. But to show you how God works, my husband had a massive heart attack. They gave him 1 year to live, but he lived 5. The last week, a week and a half before my husband passed, he came and got in my bed. And I said, where you going? He said, I want to get in bed with you. I said, well, baby, I've had a rough day. I'll be snoring, and you need some rest too. He said, I just want to be close to you. That's all, baby. I said, well, okay. Got in my bed, and we laid there. I kept looking every 10 minutes to see if he was still breathing. He was breathing. I woke up one night. He was standing over top of me, looking down at me. It the hell out of me. I said, what's going on? He said, I'm fine, baby. Yes. Something just calmed down in me, and I just left it alone. I prayed that when my husband passed, I would not be home alone. But God seemed fit for me to be home alone. And I'm saying all this to say to you all, whatever you got to do, faith and believe without a shadow of a doubt that it's going to be all right. And remember that you ain't in control of nothing. My husband come in. He looked at me. He said, baby, are you okay? I said, yes, honey, I'm fine. Are you okay? I'm fine. And he went and turned and went back out the door. And before he could close the door close the door, he'd come back in. And he stood and he looked at me. And he said, I said, what's the matter? Couldn't say nothing. His bottom lip started trembling like I've never seen nobody's lip tremble before. And something hit me in my heart. And I got up and went over to him, told him how much I loved him. I kissed him in his eyes, his nose, his ears, his lips, and everything. And I said, baby, God loves you. I said, so go in peace. I said, I love you. And I'm going to miss you. But God loves you best, so go in peace. He looked up at me. And when I told him, and don't worry about me, because I'm going to be all right too. And that's when he just flopped right on over. And that's when I got down on my knees in front of him. And I prayed. I thank God for the last 5 years of his life. I'm a woman, I'm 65 years old. I never knew what a wholesome relationship was. But the last 5 years of my life, God showed me what a wholesome relationship was. And it was not in the bed. I thank God for the storms that he has let me go through with. But losing my 13-year-old grandson. I thank God for giving me the courage to be open enough with people where people can begin to help me and reach out to me. So don't tell me what can't happen if you only believe and believe the process of this program. For the newcomers in here, get you a basic text and begin to start reading that basic text. Don't mess with that how and why it works, because that's too advanced for you right now. But get you a sponsor. And don't try to sponsor yourself. Because if you know so damn much, you wouldn't be here. Ask for the help that you need. See me? You wouldn't believe that I had nerve enough to work as a parole officer and work 20 years and retired. So Uncle Sam takes care of me now. Those with kids, don't worry about them kids. Do what you got to do for you, because all of that's going to come together in God's time, not in yours. We get in here so fast and we want to get through the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the men's and all. Look, I don't talk about the steps too much, because if you listen to me, you can hear the steps in my story. I don't tote that book and quote everything I hear in there. I try to internalize everything in there into my life. So don't come tell me about nothing you done read. I want to know, have you internalized it in your life? It's easy to talk about something you done read. But when you've been in the fire, how much longer have I got? You'll know that you 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 know, and you'll be about to know an ass then. And all I'm saying is to hang on in here. We got a lot of people who really need you. And if you come in here, you can be a powerful example. You don't have to touch nobody. Even my family don't don't understand me like you people sitting in this room here. They love me to death, but I have to back up off of them because they got their own shit. And I'm not trying to make them understand me because I just definitely don't want to understand them in their shit. When I left Key West last week, was at the airport, and this little young fella come in and he had a T-shirt on, a family reunion with my dysfunctional family. I said, no, he didn't have that on that T-shirt either, but it was the truth. Well, I'm here to tell you, I can tell you about what happened to me when I was a kid getting raped and all this crap and going through all that. But man, that's over with. This is a brand new day. I can tell you what Mom and them done and how they did it and why this and why that. What can I do? What can I go back and undo? All right now. That's what I'm talking about. You got to start with today and go forward. Because eventually you'll get back to your roots and you see that I am responsible today. Not mama, not daddy, not baby. Pella was telling me about his mother. He said, and my father, I hate his guts. And the way he beat my mother and what he does and all this and everything. And he said, no, but he treated me. I said, well, wait a minute. You know, I say, is your mother and father still together? He said, yeah. I say, he's still kicking her ass? He said, yeah. I said, she's still there with him? Yeah. I said, your ass in jail, ain't it? He holding on to something what Mama and Daddy been doing for years. And yet you crawling through people's houses for somebody to blow your head off. Still think about Mama and Daddy, you better get on with your life. Because can't nobody do nothing about that but Mama. If Mama want to stay there and take them ass in, that's Mama. I am not responsible for that today. I'm responsible for me. And this is the way we have to begin to start. It may sound selfish, but the only way that I can help another human being is by taking care of me. And see, I talk so much, and I talk plenty of shit. And for the fellas in prison, honey, if you came out under me on parole, I was dead on your ass. You couldn't bring me no stories. Because if I go along with your shit, I leave myself wide open. And I never know when I need help. And when I come to you for help, I want help. I don't want shit. But baby, believe me, you can make it. But you got to believe in yourself. You got to know without a shadow of a doubt that it's going to be all right. God has brought me. A lot of people don't like to hear this. A lot of people come to me and ask me, well, Miss Dorine, what about the spiritual part of the program? I said, well, honey, what do you mean the spiritual part of the program? Well, you know, the spirit, when you get to the spiritual part, I said, baby, the whole program is spiritual. You just haven't got there yet. Because we all have had some spiritual experiences, but you just haven't recognized them then. As long as I've been in this program, I had to do what I had to do in spite of. And it didn't say that if you did this, this would happen like that, that would happen like that. I just went on faith and on the word of what you said. Do you know I'm just getting some answers from what I went through with back there? And I thank God for giving me the strength to get me through it. Sometimes I'll be home alone, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, I start taking inventory, and I get up and I start running around my room all, baby, a song come on my heart from what I've been through with. And God has brought me a mighty, mighty long way. It's start believing and believe that everything's going to be fantastic when you say that we're reaching people around the world. And I want y'all to know, even though I can't speak your language, I love every last one of y'all. Keep coming back. Do what you got to do. And I'm going to leave y'all with this because I know it's time for me to get off here. Am I right or wrong? Nobody but you and A. Nobody but you can make me happy. Oh, yes, you heal me too. When I was in trouble, you brought me through. Nobody but you, Eddie. Nobody but you who stopped my wounded heart from crying. Nobody but you, Eddie. Nobody but you. No, nobody but you and A. Nobody but you can make me happy. Oh, yes, you heal me too. When I was in trouble, you brought me through. Nobody but you, Eddie. I want to thank you, and I love you all.